Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on those time zones. My name is Eggs Benny, and we are playing some Curse of Strahd. Now, say hello, my beautiful players.
Hello, my
Hello, my
beautiful
beautiful
players.
players.
I was about to do that.
I
Now,
unmuted too late.
our elven sorcerer, Saya Sombra, is not here today as they are on other adventures, but we do wish them the best. Now, everyone else, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Dusky Pete. I will be playing TS. Small little boy.
The small little boy.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. It's your friendly neighborhood Ness here, and I will be playing the very, very done with everybody shit Valdis for this evening.
Hello, hello. My name is Nura Nightingale, and I'll probably be helping drive Valdis insane a little bit as I play the hippie-esque happy little Sunite Aurora Rose.
Oh, it's me. Sorry. I just realized I didn't do something, so I will quickly do it after I've done this introduction. Hello, everybody. I'm English Ray. I play the other twin, Austra Rose, the cleric. Surprise, surprise.
And I am the terrible world that surrounds you in the dark, Eggs Benny. Now, picking up where we left off last session, the party introduced themselves to each other in various states of readiness to the village of Daggerford. Heading on to a hamlet further inland, they find that the residents have actually been attacked recently by werewolves that seem to arrive with the full moon every month, with multiple attacks happening over the last half a year. Going back and forward, you do actually manage to get the supplies that you were wanting, different silvered weapons, and you then went back to the hamlet to bed down for the night. The session ended with you all hearing howls in the distance and having an uneasy night's rest. You do, however, wake up the next morning. You are presented with a simple breakfast, but it's enough to count as a day's worth of food. What is everyone doing this morning?
Lamenting that my food is not like steak and eggs with a fancy gravy on top or pheasant or something.
On the other hand, I am glad it is not that.
Val would probably come down in his night clothes, just grab a cup of coffee, and then immediately head back upstairs. He has makeup to do.
Being in an actual establishment, resting, he's gonna come down, dressed for the day, ready to go. Clothes a little bit cleaner, as he would just sit down for breakfast. Set his two stuffed teddy bears up, so he can also enjoy.
Completely fair. You would notice, everyone, as you head down to the main bar area, that the tavern is a lot emptier than it was last night. It seems that the people that were using this hall as like a base to bunker down have already left, whether to check on their own houses or just head about their day.
Interesting. I'd say probably about like 5 to 10 minutes later, um, Val would come down the stairs fully dressed in his gear, all ready, makeup done, and kind of just plop himself down with his coffee and like pick at the food a little bit and just anxiously be like, So, are we ready to leave yet?
Mhm.
All right. So, I was thinking that it would be best
That's
if we...
dangerous.
He'll kind of just blink at you. Anyways, as I was saying, we should probably investigate a little bit during the day. It is technically a bit safer, and we have more light, and we, let people know where we're going. We'll have a little bit more of an advantage than stumbling around in the dark, for those who cannot see in the dark. Does anybody oppose this?
Sounds like a good idea.
I'm alright with it.
And assuming Saya says something dark and edgy about going off into the woods.
Saya will say something along the lines of, well, we should probably check to see if anything happened during the night. I'm sure I'm not the only one that heard the howling.
That is a good idea. I like that idea.
Alright, so step 1, we survey the area, talk to locals, see if anybody got eaten, and then we go.
DM.
Mm-hmm.
Can Aurora kind of just, do a perception check around the area to look for, essentially, an attractive guy?
Sure.
What constitutes
Outside.
an attractive guy?
Are you leaving the tavern, or
I
are you
was-
just looking
I was going-
around the building?
For now, inside, and also, unless you want her to start hitting on Valdis. Because she will, otherwise.
Yeah, sure. Roll a perception check for me.
17.
Okay. Valdis is the most attractive man in the tavern.
Fuck.
Because
I
compared
see my
compared
sister's
to no, let me finish. Compared to like East End, like Jack the Ripper Victorian-esque looking like Danwin at the bar who you met yesterday. And then old men, and I mean like 60s, 70s old men. Valdis is the only one that would be considered like conventionally attractive.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Now, feel free to go outside and look, but in the tavern, that's all you got.
Yeah, when the party goes outside is when she'll be looking around.
No, fair enough.
I see my sister's look. And I shoot my sister a different kind of look that just says, now is not the time.
But with green grass so close, I mean, why not?
No, these people's homes and lives are being destroyed. Do you really think now is the time?
A pleasant night would be a good way to lift one's spirits.
Okay, sure. A pleasant night. It's currently day.
I too. I was looking for tonight to see if maybe someone would be interested tonight.
Okay, then you find somebody tonight.
A hot bath.
We have shit to do today, and then you can do whatever the fuck you want tonight.
Today. I just don't want to see if someone will be up for tonight.
Sune, give me strength.
I would say with your 17, there isn't anyone that you see in the immediate vicinity, but this is a farming hamlet. So anyone that is considered like able-bodied is probably out on the outskirts of the village in the farming fields.
Yep. That makes sense. She'll be checking again when we get back to the tavern.
Also fair.
Please, we have a job to do.
So, looking around the village, there doesn't seem to be any more obvious damage than there already was. You're not hearing mourners crying over the loss of loved ones. You're not hearing outrage. In fact, it's eerily quiet. The only thing that seems to be left over from the night before, similar to the weather yesterday, is overcast, dreary, and there's a low-lying fog that is actually thick enough that you're struggling to see your feet.
Just lovely. Okay, well, at least nobody got eaten. That's good.
Nothing got broken either by the looks of it.
Both good things.
So even though we heard howling last night, they didn't come to attack the villagers.
DM, do we know what the state of the moon was last night?
I would say, because you are following on the preparation up to green grass, it is a what would be classed in the technical term as a waxing gibbon, but it is like an almost full moon.
Well, it wasn't a full moon last night, which may mean that it's a full moon tonight. And so those howls may have been a warning. Which is not good.
Or
But
they
at least we had a warning.
They could have also been amassing their numbers, calling everybody back in preparation for tonight.
That is also true.
Okay, so we have a day to figure this out. If not, set an ambush and wait, and then prepare for slaughter. But I, for once, would prefer the former. Everybody is all settled. I think we should start investigating a little bit. At least around the forest, maybe poke a bit inwards. Try to see if we can glean any information on why it's this specific village. Besides, just convenience.
You want to lead the way?
I can certainly try.
I can help you. And that is a very indirect way of saying, hey DM, if Valdis needs to roll, I give aid.
So, well, this is the point where anyone can roll if they wish. I'm gonna need survival checks from anyone to see if you see, like, any new tracks or any new bits of evidence. If someone is aiding someone, you're more than welcome to. You just need to specify who is aiding who.
Jesus fucking Christ, nat 20, D, oh my god.
Ah.
Leave it to the kid to find the thing attacking kids.
You have better eyesight than all of us because you are younger. Yes, this is how it should work. You're also lower to the ground.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I'll just roll my own. And that's how this session is going, yet again.
I mean, fair enough at this point. And then from Saya, we get an 8. Okay, so I've got a real, like, frog in my throat. I'm gonna have to get a drink in a second. So Austra, Saya, and actually Valdis, this fog is so thick that the tracks that you saw yesterday, Valdis, you've lost them. You can't see them. Whereas at the very least, Aurora, you can see the beginnings of the tracks, like what is immediately there on the forest, like, tree line. So at least you're able to be like, okay, I can see the tracks that we found yesterday. We're not completely lost and out of it. TS, getting down on your hands and knees, willing to get into the muck and the mud, you notice that because it was downcast yesterday and rained last night, the mud on the floor is perfect for capturing fresh tracks. And you see a lot of them. All of them booted, going back and forward into the forest. But there was some kind of scouting party yesterday. They did come into the village. You can see the boots going in, but you can also see them coming back into the tree line and through, like, into the forest pathways. So what essentially you can see is, I don't know if there is a name for them in America, but in England we call them chases. It's where deers have just, through pure nature, have walked the same pathways for generations, creating forest, like, natural pathways. And it's by using these pathways that the boots are going in and out of the forest.
Gonna point this out to everyone and say, it looks like they were definitely here. They were going this way. I'm just gonna point to one of the chases and start walking that way, trying to follow out the trail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, follow immediately.
Fair enough. The chase continues, like, further and further into the forest. How far are you wanting to go?
Until I am stopped or start hearing signs of other life.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough.
Be keeping ears out and eyes out for that.
Sure. I'll say that I'll let you choose whether you let your passive or an active perception check, like, lead that.
How much worse can this go? I will try a roll. Me!
With a natural
Pretty-
2.
Pretty
I'm
bad.
just rolling twos! What the hell?
Okay, yeah.
I'm
You
hating
want-
my
you're
freaking
keeping-
dice!
You're keeping an active ear out, Austra, but every little twig snap under your foot is, like, sending you on edge and in nerves, but you then very quickly realise, oh, that was just my sister, oh, that was just TS, like, it's okay, we're not actually surrounded right now. Your imagination is definitely getting the worst of you.
Hating these freaking dice.
I'd say Val would also be keeping, like, an eye out, especially if TS is leading. He's definitely on guard, so...
Fair
oh,
enough.
wow, we're all rolling like shit.
Mm-hmm. So, the Misty Forest is predominantly a pine forest. So needle-covered fronds coming down from the sky to, like, give you at least a little bit of a canopy. You keep following these chases, and now that TS has pointed out the tracks to you, all of you can see them, and they are fresh imprints in the dirt of, like, a heavy boot print. And they're going back and forth, so you know that this is the path that they used last night. As you carry on... Oh, go on.
Sorry. Because of how many times they've been walked over each other, I'm guessing we can't tell how many people came in.
Ooh. That would be its own separate survival check, if you're willing to do that.
I can definitely try.
I can definitely aid.
Okay,
Clearly my rolls are crap.
Yeah, I'll let you roll again, and we'll take the higher one. You got that in just before the dice settled. Okay.
I'll take the 14.
14. So you can't get a precise number, because again, they've been tracked back and forth. But you can tell that it's at the very least 4 separate individuals. Just because of shoe size and also the weight of the imprint in the mud. So
Okay.
someone is definitely like heavier set than someone else.
Val would kind of like, I guess, spread the information, just like be on guard. Like there's multiple people. I can only make out about 4 of them, but be wary because they are here. We just don't know where.
Okay.
Val would probably keep his short sword out, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to be on guard as much as he can in the fog, anyways.
I will follow Valdis's lead and put my shield and weapon out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, can I even? No, I can't. I can only put my shield out because it's a two-handed, I think.
No, shield is one-handed.
Yeah, but I think the weapon that you get, the
The great sword
great sword.
that your sister should be able to use. Being a paladin.
Yes, but my sister chose a different weapon.
Yes, so the great sword is two-handed, so you can have your shield out. That's easy enough done. Okay.
What does the great shield or the great sword count as actually?
A martial weapon.
Martial melee.
Okay. Okay, yeah, then she could, yeah.
You can technically
What
use
what
all
is
of the
your
swords
weapon
from
again?
yesterday.
What was your weapon counted as?
Which one?
The silvered one.
The long sword is also a martial weapon.
Yes.
Oh god damn it!
Okay, do you want to trade then? You take
No, because I
the...
can't use either.
But at least the long
Well,
sword
you
can be
can.
used in one hand.
I also
That
have a
is-
silvered short sword, too. So, I have 2 of them. Do you want one?
You have 2 silvered short swords.
Yes.
Are they? Did we also check this? Are they martial weapons as well?
Yeah.
They were also martial weapons.
Fuck.
Technically the only one that you
Switch.
can use with your proficiency is is the daggers.
Daggers.
Yeah, I think I took the longsword so that Aurora could do more sword and board in terms of weaponry.
Mm-hmm.
It's. I'll multi-class when we get to 2nd level. It's fine.
I mean, you don't have to.
I will get this proficiency by hook or by crook.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, okay, so she's just literally walking through this forest like this big ass sword.
And I'll say that TS, with your passive perception, you're the one that notices this the first. Originally you were focused on the tracks and trying to make sure that you followed them to like a preciseness. But actually, you notice that it's getting darker. And as you look up, that makes sense. You're heading further into the heart of the forest. So the trees are knitting closer together and closing ranks. Their canopies are actually blotting out the sun.
He's gonna take a conscious note of that and kind of grab his cloak a little bit and just kind of tuck his teddy bears underneath. That way, keep them close and, more importantly, keep pine needles from sticking into them.
Mm-hmm.
Just try not to get lost.
Mm.
Oh, go for it.
No, that's fair enough. Trying not to get lost. You've been following the same chase the entire time. So you know for a fact that you should be able to just double back.
Is as long as we can keep track of it.
Mm-hmm.
Get thrown off. Finding it again is gonna be a fun time.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of losing the chase, the shroud of mist that has been covering the ground this entire time is starting to become thicker and rising. You get the sense that the dampness that's hanging on to the trees is making this go from like a ground mist to just a wall of fog. It's getting harder and harder to see.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Do you keep going?
Just gonna look at Valdez. It's getting harder to follow.
We are in pretty deep, and the fog is starting to get worse. If we keep... Hold on. How... I don't have any rope. Yes, I do. I do have rope. Okay. We can always, have a handy little trick that I've learned. If we tie a bit of rope to a tree, keep track of where that is, follow it along, we shouldn't get too lost. But it also makes us a little bit vulnerable. If anything comes across that rope, well, it'll lead them right to us. Or they could just cut it, and we'd be lost. So, pros and cons. We can either keep going, and all of the above, or we double back and try to set up more defensive structures if we can. Try to set an ambush, just in case. But
I have a spell that can make each object in a 20-foot cube be outlined in a color. So if we literally put something down, and then I can use that, and if we're within 20 feet of it, it'll glow. No? Okay.
sorry, I'm just trying to think. So he's kind of like rummaging through his bag.
My vote's we push forward.
I mean, we have got a lot of daylight left.
He'll kind of just hand you a torch that he has. If you want to do the glowy spell on this, you're more than welcome. We just have to stay in that, you said 20 feet?
Hmm? I mean, I can also just... and she literally picks up a twig and just casts light on it. Can also do that.
But that does draw attention to us.
Immediately, like, cancels as well. Like, she waves the stick to, like, make it stop glowing.
If we're going to do this, it is best to go as stealthily as we can. We don't want to be announcing our presence to whatever might be lurking in the woods, let alone werewolves.
I mean, they have a very good sense of smell, so I would assume they probably already know we're here.
Val kind of just, like, reaches an arm up and, like, sniffs under him. I thought I smelled pretty nice today.
So did I after taking a bath in wildflowers.
Yes, and that is exactly why, because your perfume stands out.
At least it's flowers, though. At least there's something pretty in this. Just kind of looks around. Not so pretty area.
Just eye rolls slightly.
Well, I say, along with TS, of course, we push forward. However, means of staying on track we do that, we should figure it out fast, because we are burning daylight. So, rope or flashing stick?
I would say the flashing stick. With that, we can at least turn it off whenever we need to. Then use the fog to hide.
It does last for an hour as well.
Alright, as long as we don't lose track of it, I think we'll be alright. So, cast the flashing spell thing, and we'll move on.
Picks up a stick, casts the spell, puts the stick down. Carry on walking.
Just be on guard. I know I don't have to say it, but be careful.
Thanks. You too?
You mean things can get uglier out here?
Very much so. I mean, certainly I haven't seen any bodies yet, but presumably there are going to be some where we're going, or if we find them, it will not be a pretty sight. But we should get moving.
The sooner the better, so we can get back to the tavern and town.
Alright then. TS. The lantern light created by the torch is helping a massive amount. It's burning away like the fog light around you. But that doesn't mean that you're not starting to struggle to see. This fog is just getting thicker and thicker to the point where you can maybe see a couple of feet around you. Even worse than that, you're starting to lose the tracks and lose the chase.
After a little bit, I'll slow down to a stop. I don't think I can follow it anymore.
Val will kind of like come up and tousle your hair. Well, we had a good run. Fog is a bit too thick for us to see anything particularly through, but
It wasn't a total loss. You were able to figure out that there was at least 4?
by my estimations, yes. At least 4, could be more, but I guess the best we can do is relay the information. And we just try our best to fortify what we can. Send people into safe spaces, especially children. And just prepare as best we can. I mean, we can't really do much in what we can't see. Unless anybody has any better ideas. I'll take that as a no. Okay, well, I I guess we head back.
Alrighty.
Aurora looks incredibly relieved at that statement.
Guess we'll start trying to pick back up and head way back to the tavern and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Val will probably be, like, thinking of, like, different traps we could set, or, like, better ways to put defensive measures towards the forest. Like, he'll be trying to plan the entire way, so he'll probably not be paying too close attention.
Fair enough. I think it's safe to say, Aurora, that you were at the back of the marching order.
Yes.
So as everyone, like, kind of spins in point to just, like, head backwards, you finally realise just how thick this fog has gotten. Originally you were just following behind Saya and Austra, following the torchlight, not really paying too much attention other than worrying about the mud on your boots. Now,
Yeah.
you can't see.
Oh. Valdis, is it supposed to be this thick?
And now as you take it all in, you are all surrounded by this blinding fog. You can't see anything past. Not even 5 feet around you. It is suffocating.
Alright, everybody form a line.
Yeah.
And Val will just kind of, like, go down the line, make sure everybody's, like, touching or, like, holding hands to make
That's
sure we
not
don't
my
lose
hand.
each other. He'll be going for your heads mostly. Head count.
That's not my head.
Apologies. That was not my intention at all.
I think you may have mistaken me for my sister. Not the first time, and it won't be the last.
Aren't you guys twins? Wouldn't your head be the same height?
That's what I was thinking. But besides that, just hold on to each other. Please.
Aurora's holding on to the nearest person.
The desire to shout, I'm not holding your hand.
Okay. Well, assuming that we just walked in a straight fucking line here,
Mm-hmm.
it's better to move than to stay. Could be just an opening. Sitting ducks and all that.
There's one advantage. If we can't see, odds are they can't see either.
We don't know that.
Be alright. We're, 4 heads is better than 1. 5 heads, technically.
5.
I forgot about you. And he kind of points to Saya.
Now, Saya this entire time has been quiet, but she does defend herself by saying, my expertise is not in nature. I don't really have anything to add.
Understandable. I'm used to just killing things, so we're both on the same page. Digress. Let's at least try to parse our way out of this place.
So, With Aurora leading, you begin to head back in the direction of the village. You'd kind of timed it out in your head, TS, that you'd been walking for about half an hour. So you didn't make it that far at all. But when that half an hour passes and goes into an hour, 2 hours, and you've still not made it back to the village, all of your senses begin to prickle that something is wrong.
Whoever's hand he's holding, I'm just gonna squeeze tighter as he just kind of huddles closer.
I don't
That
think the
would-
marching order is.
It would probably be Val, because it was Aurora, Saya, Austra, TS, or Val, and then TS in the front, as far as I remember.
You're allowed to argue.
No, I think that's about right because TS and Val were up front together. Yeah.
And I guess when Val feels you kind of like huddle closer, he'll kind of like put his arm kind of around your shoulders and kind of hug you a bit closer to his torso.
We should have been back.
That is quite concerning. Do any of you have detect magic of any kind?
I can
Yes?
just cast light, unfortunately.
I do, but I don't have that prepared today.
I can do it.
He'll kind of like turn his body a little bit more towards you, and he'll kind of be like, we can definitely check if the fog is in any way magical, supernatural of that kind. Because this doesn't feel natural.
TS will kind of pull out his two bears, whisper into their ears as he's going to cast Detect Magic.
I love that. Are your bears your arcane focus?
Why does it say I'm concentrating on like 8 different things? The fuck am I concentrating on?
I will say, TS, that obviously with Detect Magic, you pick up on like the magical inclinations of the people in your party.
Fair.
But you also get a sense of, around you, this faint trace of conjuration magic. Just hanging in the air, surrounding you.
This is not normal fog.
Val will kind of like swear under his breath. Just be like, shit. I knew it. Somebody's been either following us or somebody set a trap of some kind. They don't want us to leave. Alright. I don't think I have anything for this.
Aurora. As the person at the head of the party, I will say that it's you that first sees the path. You finally breached the tree line, and see a small piece of civilization. But it isn't the village that you're expecting. It's just a single dirt path. Black pools of water stand like dark mirrors in and around the muddy roadway. Giant trees loom on both sides of the road, their branches clawing at the mist. You have a path, at least. But it's definitely not what you were expecting.
Hey guys, I've got good news and bad news. Good news is we're out of the fog and there's a path. Bad news is it's hideous and I don't know where we are.
Oh my fucking god. You would literally just hear a curse from Val in the very back, like, are you fucking kidding me?
Language in front of the child!
At least we found a way out of here. We can assess ourselves once we have heads on our shoulders again.
It didn't have to be so hideous. I mean, just looking at the black pool, just this, like, crestfallen expression.
I don't know, I think there's a beauty in the darkness.
Val would just be fucking muttering under his breath, like, Mistress, give me strength. I swear to God, I promised that I would be good, but I'm starting to question my morals.
Question to the DM.
Mm-hmm.
Because the fogs are subsiding a little bit.
Mm.
Are the trees still pine trees?
They are still pine trees.
Alright. Fair enough. Yeah. That was my question. Cool. I'm just gonna follow whichever direction we decide to walk on this path.
Because there's a left or a right.
Oh god. Alright, I love these. Which one looks more spooky?
Well, the answer to that is actually a little bit horrifying, as there's a rough square of road that you can see, and then the fog is on either side. So while you can see these silhouettes of the trees, the fog is still surrounding you.
Okay, fantastic. I love this. Alright.
You want me to light up a stick and throw it in either direction? Like, what do you want me to do here?
Right always feels like a good choice.
I have a question. Are the paths, have they been walked on recently? Is there any way to see one is more traveled than the other?
At least somebody else was going in a different direction.
That's fair enough. Because technically tracks and seeing tracks is survival, so that is another survival check.
Aid.
Alright. How do you do advantage and disadvantage? Because that has gone away. I can't toggle it.
Has it gone? It might be because I've accidentally turned it off in the configure settings bit.
Ah. Because for me, when I make a roll, I just click on it and it immediately rolls. It doesn't ask any, like, advantage or disadvantage or just straight roll, ability check, all that shit.
Yeah, I've probably accidentally turned it off in, like, the what's it?
Yeah.
In the work-life balance bit.
It could also be because the game is paused, potentially.
No, it's because I've accidentally, like, changed something, being like, oh, this will make it easier, and it's like, actually, no, it hasn't.
Sorry guys, technical difficulties.
Well, no, like, you just roll again, and we'll take, like, whichever is the highest, while I read through all the quality of life stuff and be like, which one did I accidentally click on?
Sounds good enough. Well, that was a 10.
Okay, so what you can see, actually, is wheel tracks.
Ooh.
And
Sorry, that was with advantage because of
Ah.
8. So it's actually a 14. I lied.
Yeah, so even with the 10, you could see the tyre tracks. But I mean tyre as in like wagon wheel, as it's like very symmetrical rectangular indents. And then hooves from horses.
Alright, so which path is that one on?
On both, because what you've done is basically met a path at a perpendicular angle.
Which direction was the wagon going?
Both.
I think. Okay, they were going both directions.
Fuck.
Can I flip a coin?
So this is pretty much a trade route.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on the bright side, it means whichever way we go, we'll end up somewhere.
Also fair.
Is there a signpost? Is there a signpost that has any signs on it that we can read?
Not that you can see.
My vote's right.
I vote going to the right. Right always seems like a good idea.
Of course it does to you.
This is definitely not what I had in mind. But this is fine. Everything's fine.
Why do you
Everything's
flip
gonna
a
be fine.
coin? You can't flip a coin in this, can you?
Just roll a d4.
I think there is a coin in the dice. I just don't know how to do it. I think you can actually also put in like roll 1d2 and it do it for you. There
Ah! How'd you do that?
Typing in /roll what space 1d2.
Okay, one is heads, two is tails. So one to the left, two to the right. Wait, so use it /1d2.
Roll space 1d2.
Oh. Coin says left.
Well, I guess we're a little lost either way. And kind of just points to Aurora and TS, like, they've already voted. I don't much care. And coin says left. So, I guess majority wins?
Hey, TS is just gonna start walking down the path to the right.
Aurora follows.
I guess we're all following the kid again.
Hey. This is Aurora is always right. Remember Austra?
Yes, and I'm beginning to feel left out. But
I know it's probably obvious, but weapons are raised, hackles are raised,
yeah.
prepared for anything to fucking jump out and try to eat us.
So, did you say yeet or eat?
Yes.
Eat.
The answer is yes. Both would be terrifying.
Fucking werewolf just jumps out of the woods, picks up TS, and just throws it.
No, my son!
My boy!
I always knew I'd be able to fly
Power
one day.
I believe.
Yeah, so we
I
go
can
down the
fly.
right.
Yes.
Let's hope it's the fucking right way, but
Okay. Eventually, you all become incredibly sick and incredibly tired of walking, as it gets to a point where you've been walking for hours and haven't seen any sign of life. You can hear in the distance the cawing of crows. Someone catches the ear, like wind going through the mist. But you've basically been left alone on this dirt road.
Hearing the crows in the distance, Val will kind of roll his shoulders and relax a little as he tries to like pinpoint where they're coming from.
Definitely in front of you, but they are far off.
Well, I guess there's no point in me beating around the bush. We're lost. We're hopelessly lost. Going down a dirt road for hours. This isn't doing us any good.
But there's a path, though, and where there's a path, there'll eventually be people.
Or werewolves.
I think werewolves are still people.
Point being, we're exhausted. We've all been walking for hours through mud and damp everything. And Val kind of just like waves his hands like in exasperation. I know it's not the best idea, but I think it's best we make camp somewhere along the side of the road. Maybe somewhere that's not so visible, but enough to where we know our way back.
I like that. I could use some sleep. She also grimaces at the reminder of, like, we've been walking through mud. Like, don't remind me.
You know you will have to be sleeping on the ground, right?
We have a tent. Thank you very much.
Camp or keep walking?
Camp.
Is it like dark now? As in, because obviously there's only a certain amount of time you can actually be walking for until you get like levels of exhaustion. Are we getting to that point where it's like we need to camp now?
No. So timing wise, because of when you set off and that, it's getting to like late afternoon.
So we could press on for like a couple more hours.
Oh yeah.
I say we keep walking. You know, I'd rather keep walking and camp if we absolutely have to, but we could come up across a village if we keep walking.
I guess you do make a good point. Alright. If no objections, off we go?
Maybe we can find somewhere prettier to camp.
You're in a fog in the middle of a forest where all there are pine trees. I think this is as pretty as it's gonna get.
Well, I can help.
Just be happy there aren't corpses strewn up on the trees yet.
Oh, I am. But what's wrong with hoping for some soft grass?
There's nothing wrong with hope, just don't let it go to your head.
But also let it be placed in the right place. You're gonna run out of hope one day.
I love this new side to her. Just whispers to TS, like...
Their dynamic scares me a little bit.
I caught maybe half of that. What did you say?
Their dynamic scares me a little bit.
You and me both. But it's best just to not look them in the eye. And just go along with it.
Did we hear this?
I mean, you're not that.
TS was
far
not
away.
being quiet about it.
Yeah, Val wasn't either.
I feel like this should be one of those moments where the girls talk in unison of just like, what's wrong with our eyes?
Yeah, I feel as one thing we are like, we do see, ironically, eye on. Like, we're talking to each other and then our heads just snap.
Yeah, just like that twin thing of like the perfect unison of like, what's wrong with our eyes?
What's wrong with our eyes?
Val will just
Yeah, I'm
feel a
gonna keep
slight shiver down his back and just be like, absolutely nothing. Don't worry about it. And he'll just follow TS, continuing down the road.
Yeah, out of character. Who needs the creepiness of Curse of Strahd when you got the twins, apparently?
Players bring it themselves.
You think we're pretty, really, we're creeps.
Yeah, twist alert. They don't really worship Sunni.
Twisted sisters. Are we walking still then?
It would appear so.
Okay, let's get going.
Yeah, she starts off following TS and Val again.
Okay. You continue on foot for another half an hour. And it's then that you see, emerging out of the fog, a gate. Old style iron that's been rusted over time. The gate blocks off the future path that you would be taking. On either side of this double-breasted gate is two statues of like old style knights, full plate mail armor, swords, and shields. The only thing that you notice is that the heads have been cut off of both of these knights.
Are they statues or are they actual knights?
They are stone statues.
Okay.
And their heads are now lying among the weeds at their feet.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
Horrible thing to happen to something so beautiful.
It's stone, not marble.
But it was still beautiful. It was still a work of art. Look at this. And she's just like, seems like she's about to cry almost. Like, this was such a beautiful work of art and now it's in ruins.
We've seen prettier.
Yeah, guess that this is the first art we've seen since we've been in this forest, and now it's ruined.
Oh, for the love of God.
Buy her a freaking mirror.
I have one. Do you need one?
Give it to her so she can see something pretty. Just. Oh, God.
Listen, as long as you promise to give it back, I still need to do my eyeliner correctly.
She'll help you. She's good with that.
If you think I would let anybody touch my face.
I don't know you. Can we make any checks to see if there's like any movement in the building behind the gates? Or can we only literally
There is no
see
building
the
behind the
gates?
gate. The path continues after them.
You're muted.
Ah. That is my bad, I thought I wasn't. So there is no building past the gates. It is just a set of gates that is blocking the path ahead of you.
Okay. Are they padlocked
No.
in any way? They're just gates.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a mailbox?
There isn't, no.
Okay. Is not to sound morbid, but above certain gates there are like there's a sign? Is there like a sign or anything?
Well, since you're getting up close enough to see, since the fog is still as thick as ever, the gate swings open as you approach.
Oh, I did not do that.
With any luck, maybe it means there's people nearby?
Val's hackles are immediately raised. It's like, there's no fucking wind. How the fuck did that do? Ooh, he is like skin prickling, like he does not want to fucking be here. He smells bad news, man.
Well, this is the best news we've had since we got into the fog. Other than getting completely lost. Yes, I'm just gonna start walking forward.
I immediately kind of stop the child. Just hand on like shoulder/chest and like, I'd feel a little bit better if I went in front of you. Just in case something tries to attack. I'd rather them hit me than you. If that's okay.
That's alright.
Aurora will pull out her shield and move up beside Austra.
Can you carry a shield?
Yeah, she has a shield.
Oh no, I'm talking to the kid.
You can.
Immediately just hands you her shield. Just, it's probably like as big as you. How long does that last? Okay, and we'll also cast on you Shield of Faith.
Oh my fucking god.
Just you get for 10 minutes.
I will say, for the sake of this, that you can see that there is still like a good bit of roadway in front of you.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll hold off casting that.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, there's no
Gives you the
building in
shield.
sight. It's just the gates in the road.
Okay.
But you do notice a remarkable change, however, as you begin to pass through the gates. The dirt road that you had been walking on for hours at this point does actually become more compacted and becomes gravel. Another further sign of civilization. You're at least getting closer.
If not for the fact it would get her dirty, Aurora would completely do the, like, get on the ground and start kissing it thing. So perish the thought it would get her dirty.
At least we're getting closer to something. Whether it's our salvation or our doom, we won't know.
There's only one way to find out. And that's by getting there.
I will walk like next to, if not slightly in front of TS as we walk.
Val will kind of just like roll his eyes and bring up the rear, I guess.
The gravel road leads up to a village. Just appears from the fog as it finally begins to settle and pull away from you all. The tall houses are as dark as tombstones. There is no life or light. Multiple windows have been boarded up and doors have been barricaded from the outside. There's a handful of closed up shops, and even the tavern, as you pass it, is shut tight. I'd say TS, you hear this first, but everyone does hear this eventually. There's the soft whimpering of a child. And as you turn to look, you see that there is a pair of children standing in the middle of the otherwise lifeless street.
Aurora's gonna go over to them.
Mm-hmm.
Before you go,
Yeah.
Val will kind of just like put a hand on your shoulder. Just fair warning, it could be a trap. Illusion. Just be on your guard.
But they're children. They need help.
Val kind
Oh,
of gives
that is-
you like a little bit of like not so much a pitying look, but something like, oh honey, like you have not seen anything, have you?
I mean, out of character, she has been saying this.
Oh yeah, I know. Just don't be surprised if they don't turn out to be children. Prepare for a fight, no matter what.
Sorry, just so I can try and get it. So we literally walked through these gates. The path has gotten steadier. We've come to a town where everything is boarded up and deserted. And then there are two children crying in the road.
Mm-hmm.
One fine detail that you did miss is that it's been boarded up from the outside.
Yeah, people fucking...
So
This-
there's something on the inside that's being contained.
Or are they trying to keep something out?
Well,
don't-
no, they're boarded up from the outside.
Which
Like-
means the door is closed, you put up a slat from the outside, and you're keeping the door closed from the outside. Something's inside those houses and buildings that can't get out.
They were abandoned. Like, people just, like, boarding up, like, we're leaving type thing.
Also a possibility. I'm going to assume there's something in that.
No, same. Immediately go to, like, zombie-esque, like, bullshit. Something is in there that we do not want to fight. So... best to just keep low and keep quiet.
Does
Aurora's
anything look out of place? Like, is there a check we can make to see, like, oh, like, these huge scratch marks in the wood, in like spotted, like boarded up, which obviously we would immediately probably think like, well, or would it be, or is it literally just like, just dust and age?
I
Do
will
we get any
say,
clues from the surrounding?
I'd say the best clue that you get is that the fog has followed you and seems to follow you no matter which street you go down. But now that you've been presented with these two children, the fog has opened up to let you see them at a distance.
This is definitely a fucking trap. Oh my god.
Aurora's still going up to the kids.
Oh, I put my hands on you completely, just like just to stop you. Just look, dark and creepy, and you're full of hope. And the first one we see are crying children. Why are there not alarm bells ringing in your pretty little head?
Because they're children, they might need help.
They. Do you not remember the stories of people coming back having been like pickpocketed by children? Children are not always innocent.
Just points at TS. We don't even know if he's killed anybody.
Yeah, but with the village abandoned, then what if they are alone? What if they need help?
How have two children survived in an abandoned village in the middle of God knows where, alone by themselves?
No, but children in Neverwinter do it all the time.
They
Survive on the streets all the time.
Yeah, because they're usually part of a bigger network.
We don't know what's around here, though. For all we know, there could be farms on the other side of the fog.
Val kind of just like pinches the bridge of his nose. And you can see him when he looks up at you, his eyes have a slight glow as he kind of stomps his foot like, if you want to die so badly, be my guest. And he'll kind of just turn and walk a couple steps away and just like cross his arms as he watches you.
I beg you, please, don't go over there. Stay back, and then possibly talk to them from a safe distance.
But once you all are satisfied that there's nothing else around here, we can talk to them, right?
I'm saying you could talk to them now just from a distance.
DM, am I close enough to actually do that without, like, shouting?
You'd have to raise your voice, but you can get closer to, like, just be having a conversation with them.
How do these children look? Like, are they well dressed? Are they in rags? Do they look skinny? Do they look well fed?
No, that is completely fair. So from a distance, what you can see is that they're both wearing, like, dark purple cloaks and coats. The smaller one is the one that is whimpering, and he seems to be holding on to a doll of some kind as like a comfort blanket. The older child is like kind of squatting to get down on their level and like is trying to apparently comfort the other child. The one bright bit of colour that you see that stands out is the girl is wearing a bright red cloak over her purple coat.
But it doesn't look like tattered or old.
No. Not from the distance, anyway.
Okay, it's also the fact that they are almost like immaculately dressed. Seriously, not giving you cause for concern here.
I would rather talk to them if it is a trap. I would rather spring the trap than possibly leave children who need help.
I look to Valdis, and it looks that it's very resigned, and it just basically says, she's gonna do it anyway.
He'll kind of just like narrow his eye, like he'll kind of look down from his nose at you and he'll just squint his eyes. If she wants to die, she can die. Like, he does not give a fuck.
Okay, if you're going over there and you're going to talk to them, I cast Shield of Faith on my sister.
Okay.
If we're going to spring a trap, would it not be better to just bring it on our own terms then? And then on the flip side, if it is not a trap, then
Aurora?
we haven't lost anything.
Aurora, you have 10 minutes and you're wasting that time. I put a spell on you. You're a little bit harder to hit. Please carry your shield and go and talk to them if you must.
She'll go over to talk to the kids.
I am staying within a distance of, like, if shit gets hairy, but also making sure that, like, TS is protected.
Mm-hmm. So, now that you're a little bit closer, you can get a better look at them, Aurora. So, the younger one is a young boy wearing a very thick, like, alpine-style, like, Inuit cloak with a hood over and, like, thick fur trims. His coat and you're presuming his older sister's jacket have the same, like, silver swirling pattern. But at the moment, he doesn't seem to really want to be too close to you as he hides behind his sister's hip, clutching what you now see is a doll, but looks very similar to, I've forgotten the name that she gives the doll, but in Lilo and Stitch, like Lilo's handmade doll.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh.
Scrump, I think.
Scrump, yes. But it looks a lot like that in the sense of, like, mismatched button eyes, a stitched mouth that looks more like a grimace than anything else, and one leg that is a lot longer than the other. The older sister is wearing a jacket over a tunic with, like, knee-high, like, walking boots. The red cloak standing out against the purple attire was held together with a gold chain clasp that goes from one collarbone to the other. They both bear a striking family resemblance to each other, with both the same dark skin and the same black curly hair. It's the boy that's whimpering and crying, and as you walk over, the girl, like, shushes him to try and bring, like, a sense of calm, and she looks up to you, saying, "There is a monster in our house."
She's...
Oh, go on.
I was just gonna say Aurora basically kind of, like, drops down into, like, you know, like a squat, trying to get more even, more, like, on even terms with them and everything, but also, like, keep her movement so she can get up quickly if needed.
That's completely fair. Both of the children are pre-puberty.
Okay.
And as she says, "Well, there's a monster in our house," she points back to a tall brick row house that has seen better days. Its windows are dark, and it has a gated entrance on the ground floor, and the rusty gate is slightly ajar. The houses on either side are abandoned, their windows and doors boarded up.
And are your mother and father in the house?
The younger of the two begins to whimper again, And at that, the elder girl like kind of shushes and tries to placate him a little bit. We don't know. Our parents keep the monster trapped in the basement.
What brought you two out here to the middle of the road to... If your parents are at home, should you not be with them? This does not seem like the safest place to play.
We cannot find them. And we will not go back inside while there is a monster in the house. You can tell from the look on her face that while she's trying to put on a brave face for her little brother, this girl is on the edge of like a panic attack.
I'll talk to my sister and my friends back there and see if we can help get rid of the monster so you can go home.
Please. We would be very grateful. There is a baby in the third floor nursery.
I'll get the baby too. She'll try and give them like this reassuring smile and everything before like standing back up. Just don't worry. Find somewhere a little safer to wait. All right?
Okay. Looking around the street, at least at what they can see through the fog, they decide that their little like gated garden area is probably safer than just sitting on the street. So they do go and like sit by the front door. But they don't go inside.
Okay. Yeah, she'll go back to the party. They were just children. They need help though. They can't find their parents, and they said their parents kept trapped a monster in their basement, and
I'm sorry, what?
they're afraid.
You know, some people store wine, art. No, they decide a fucking monster.
It didn't sound like they wanted the monster there. They sounded terrified of it and wanted it gone.
Which house is it in?
She'll point out the big brick house.
Is this the one the children are currently sitting outside of?
Mm-hmm. That it is.
If they're so scared, why are they sitting on the steps?
I'm telling you what they told me.
There's a monster in there. Probably vacated, or at least that way we have somewhere to sleep tonight.
Where are the parents?
Don't know.
What do you mean they don't know?
They don't know where their parents are. I don't know, but to me it sounds like maybe the parents might have gotten separated from them trying to stop the monster and trap it.
Seems to me like everybody had monsters in their basement. As Val kind of like points with his head to the other houses that have him like boarded up.
We should go make sure.
Tell the kids to come here.
Why don't we just go talk to them ourselves? It clearly didn't hurt me.
I feel like we should go make sure the monster's either taken care of or their parents are alright.
She's gonna give TS a very grateful look.
Val will kind of just very heavy sigh and roll his eyes. It's like, fine, if we're doing this, we better do it fast. Commotion and sounds will attract attention. Who knows what else is over here? Need I remind you that we have a mission?
Yes, the werewolves, we know. I guess I begin walking over to the kids.
This is following.
Yup.
Yup.
Hi. We hear that you've got a bit of a problem.
There's a sniffle from the young boy as he kind of like clutches at the coat sleeve of his sister, and she looks up to you and nods.
My sister told me that you have a monster in your basement.
And she gives a very like quick nod to you.
Can you tell us what kind of monster?
We don't know what it looks like. We have never seen it. But it howls. It howls in the night.
And you've never seen it?
No. Our parents made sure to keep us away from it. Until now.
Do you ever see Mommy and Daddy when it does start howling?
No, we are usually told to go to our rooms.
And neither of them come to find you?
No, they usually make sure that we are safe, and then they leave to deal with the monster.
What do Mommy and Daddy do for jobs?
Oh, they don't have jobs.
Oh.
We the family, we own land. It's like you can tell that the concept of landed gentry is probably a hard concept for a 10-year-old.
Okay.
Which is like, we own land?
Okay. Strange flex, but okay. So, are Mommy and Daddy in the house? Or did they have to go somewhere?
We don't know. We just heard the moans and the howls. It sounded louder.
Have you seen Mummy and Daddy today?
No. And like you can see now that she's like, now that you're making her think about it,
Shit, I didn't mean to make the kid think about it.
it's like she's getting like sadder. Where it's like, oh god, what's going on?
It's okay, sweetie. I'm also trying to figure out where your mom and dad are. Because they could have gone to see a farmer and help them with crops. Or they could have gone to have a look at the land. But Mummy and Daddy didn't say anything to you.
And with a shake of the head, it's like, no, they just left us with the maid and the baby.
Where's the maid?
With the baby.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go inside and we're gonna see if we can find the maid. What's the name?
This is where I'm there, like, what is the name of the fucking maid?
Apologies.
Beatrice.
The fear of ODMs. What's the name?
Genevieve?
Genevieve. Okay. And what's your names?
Oh, I am Rose. And this is Thorn.
How funny. My sister and I are also roses.
And she looks up at you with a really wide-eyed, like, amazed look. Rosavalda.
Austra Rose. And like shakes her hand, I guess.
My name is Aurora Rose.
And then this is my brother Thornbolt.
Pleasure to meet you, Thornbolt. Oh, the kid's still crying.
Thornbolt slash Thorn this entire time hasn't said anything. And that's because you get the impression that it's very much the wide-eyed, scared shitless, I'm going to cry at the drop of a hat, like, kind of silence.
Ah, okay. I look to the others. It's like, I think we're gonna go and try and find Genevieve and the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there anybody else in the house, or is it just Genevieve and the baby?
It should just be them.
Okay. I kind of want to set up the tent for them so they can just sit in the tent. But I don't have crayons.
For fuck's sake. Oh my gosh.
Just like, kids like crayons, right?
I think the most important part is like going to kill whatever's inside the house.
I'm
They
just
can-
trying to get them comfortable.
I have a sinking feeling that the thing that they want us to kill is their parents.
Yeah, no, me the fuck.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure this is my line of thinking anyways, that this might be the group of werewolves.
Yeah.
And most of them don't want to be, and they're trying to protect their children and other members from being turned into werewolves.
Which
and they
probably
don't know
means-
what the fuck is going on.
Which
It
also means Genevieve and the baby are probably dead.
Probably.
But it also doesn't explain the abduction of other children.
Yeah, that's the thing where I'm still not sure about.
They don't want their children to become werewolves, but they still need to, add to the pack. Mm.
Just delaying the inevitable at that point in time.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, I guess we weapons out, go into the house.
Rob.
Sure. So, there's technically two
This is going
entrances.
to be fun.
There's technically two entrances.
Please tell me the baby's name is something like Petal or Leaf.
Oh, you would wish. Oh my gosh,
Is that-
that's amazing.
Ask the kids.
Whatever the baby's name is, Root.
You're the cause of all this.
Oh.
Got Petal, which is... Well, you got Rose, which is in the top, and then you got Thorn, which is on the stem, and then you keep going down, so then you have Root.
DM, can we ask baby's name?
Of course you can.
Yes.
The baby is a newborn. He has not had his baptism yet.
Oh. Do your parents call him by a name?
I believe the name that they have settled on is Walter?
Oh.
But it is not official yet.
Wait, Walter or Water?
Walter.
Okay.
Sounds a lot like water.
Especially with this accent.
Mhm.
I think they knew what they were doing.
We tried hard with the first two. Screw it. This time, did we get a free pass?
Oh.
But yeah, if you want to head up to the entrance, there's technically two. So there's what they call a portico. So it's wrought iron gates that open out into like a small, like little 5 foot by 10 foot like square of a room, and then it leads to another set of double doors.
Ooh.
But the kids, as they watch you come up, you get the impression like because you're there, they feel safe enough to at least go that far with you. They sit on the steps and like in the portico, and they firmly plant their feet there of like, we're not going any further with you guys.
Understandable.
They're on the 3rd floor, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Alright then. Who's going first?
Sure.
Alright then. Astra, you have nominated yourself. So, opening up the double doors, it's a flanking set of like dark, rich oak. And as you push them open, there is a family shield on the right hand side wall. It's emblazoned with a coat of arms. You're assuming it's the coat of arms for this family. And it's a stylized golden windmill on a red background.
Ooh.
And this is flanked by portraits of like stony-faced aristocrats. You're assuming that this is like old family history. And it's through those doors that we take you to the main room. And I actually I should be able, I need to drag you on, but that's fair enough.
We have a map!
We do have a map.
First map of the season, guys.
So, Austria
map
was at the
name is Rhea.
front, Saya will be at
Map
the
name-
back. Because she's technically there. So, opening up this set of double doors leads you to like a main reception area. Feel free to move yourself, drag yourself.
I am trying to, but
Can you
it's
not?
not. No.
I don't know why you can't. Maybe I just overstepped the wall. I can. Why can you not?
Everybody else can.
No, I'm moving everyone right now.
Yeah, I can't
Oh.
move either.
For fuck's sake, I'm really gonna have to go through those quality of life things. I must have turned something off.
It's because the game is paused.
Oh. Now can you?
Now
Oh.
it's figuring out which sister is mine. Yes.
It
yes.
still says... Oh, never mind. I got it.
Okay. So in this main hallway, it's a massive black marble fireplace takes up the entire left-hand side wall. You can still walk through it and round it, but it is a dominating piece. Mounted on the wall above the fireplace is a longsword with a windmill cameo like worked into the hilt. You get the impression that it's maybe like a family blade.
Ooh. Pretty.
There are wood-panelled walls ornately sculpted with images of vines, flowers, nymphs, satyrs, like things of mythology. To the right-hand side of you, there is a spiral staircase that goes all the way up, but there is an alcove that is like tucked underneath it, and you do see a door like hidden under the sets of the spirals.
Okay. I keep my voice quiet. They said Genevieve and the baby were on the 3rd floor.
Yes, but shouldn't we make sure that there's nothing going to surprise us on our way back? I suggest we clear floors as we go up them, just to make sure.
Okay. Can do. What room do you want to go in first? I'm guessing this one down here. This one's right now just opened slightly.
That is your way out.
That's our way out. Okay.
So it's either this room over here, and then the other one to the right, or the one underneath the spiral stairs.
Do we hear any noise coming from any of these rooms?
Make a perception check for me.
Do not screw me.
That is really funny.
With a 15 and a 16. Fair enough. So both of you listening in don't hear anything. The house sounds dead. There was a baby, you'd surely hear gurgling. There's no nurse walking around, like you don't hear footsteps rather. And both of you notice that while you're trying to hyper-focus on listening for sounds, you look at the walls and you see that what was once like vines and joyous activity, there's now serpents and skull pictograms like hidden inconspicuously into the design of the paneling.
Right. We're in a cult. Lovely.
went from something beautiful to something horrific very quickly.
I also kind of think it's beautiful that you managed to hide this inside of it. That not everything, just because it's pretty on the surface, is pretty on the inside. Anyway, we're getting distracted. What room? Pick a room. Any. Okay, well.
Val's gonna go
Yep.
to the one on the left.
I guess we're following Val.
Just don't crowd the door, just in case. Ah, it's a kitchen.
Actually, it's a dining room.
It's a dining room. I saw food.
So, the centerpiece of this wood-paneled dining room is a carved mahogany table surrounded by 8 high-back chairs with sculpted armrests and cushioned seats. Hanging from the ceiling is a crystal chandelier, and it's covered with resplendent silverware and crystalware polished to a dazzling shine.
Ooh.
Mounted above the marble fireplace is a mahogany-framed painting of an alpine vale. So if you think like a ski lodge resort. There's even more wood panelling that covers the walls, and it looks like elegant images of deer, like dancing and frolicking among the trees.
Pretty.
The food on the table, is it still like... Is it rotten, or is it fresh, or...
You taking a bite?
No, I'm looking at it.
Well, it looks fresh. Or at least fresh enough to safely eat.
I was thinking more along the lines of, like, how long has it been there?
I mean, it's
If I
not
pick
looking fuzzy and mouldy.
Okay,
If I
so-
pick up a bread and I, like, tap it against the table, does it sound, like, hard, like it's stale?
Picking it up, actually, your finger, like, sinks into the crust. Like, this is fresh bread.
This is so fucking weird.
Okay.
Well, there are no monsters in here, so I'm moving on.
Yep. Just following after Val.
Probably go into the side room.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to go up the square and then in first.
Yeah, there you go.
Hold on. Sorry. I
There's
will
the
move.
door.
Wait, there's 2?
Just going round a second. Do I realize that, like, there is a spatial awareness issue here? Or is this like a column or just a wall?
There we go, yeah. As far as you're aware, you don't know a lot about architecture. Could be a supporting pillar.
Okay.
You willing to
Also,
investigate for us?
question.
Yeah.
Does the stream get to see the map, or are we just on voice?
The stream could see the map, actually, to be fair. Let me change it. I wasn't planning on it, but they can do. I'll just need to flip. Actually, no. Leave it on there for now. I need to put it on this so that I can actually change what they can see. And then I also need to change Discord and okay, yeah, that should be doing it now, so we can flip to that.
Ayo.
Hey.
Yes, there we go.
Okay. So investigation, you said.
Yeah, the only problem is I don't think music is being captured now. But that's fine.
Ah.
The things we sacrifice.
Oh, for crying out loud! No, I have no idea.
Yeah, as far as you're aware, it's just a supporting pillar. But for Aurora and Valdis, you have gone into the kitchen.
Mm.
Ooh.
It's tidy, with dishware, cookware, and utensils neatly placed on shelves. There is a work table with a cutting board and rolling pin. There is a stone dome-shaped oven on the east wall, and bent iron stovepipe, like going into a hole in the ceiling.
Mm.
Behind the stove and to the left is a thin door that you can see there, leading to a pantry.
I see. Just a small little cubby.
Yeah, just a small little cubby pantry. You do, however, see another door, like off to the side of the work table. That is actually, when you open the door, a dumbwaiter.
Ooh.
So there is a dumbwaiter going up.
Hell yeah. Escape route. Let's go.
It does, however, look a little bit too small for all of you to fit in.
Damn it.
Even TS.
Well, my fantasies have all been crushed.
Only if one of us was a gnome.
Or one of you
Only
had enlarge reduce.
I was literally about to say that. Alright. Well, looks like this floor is clear so far. Should probably head upstairs. That's where they said the baby was, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Going into that lower room, Austra.
Yes.
It is, or at least has been styled to look like, a hunter's den. Mounted above the fireplace is a stag's head, and positioned around the outskirts of the room are 3 stuffed wolves. Padded chairs draped in animal furs face the hearth, with an oak table supporting a cask of wine, 2 carved wooden goblets, and other accoutrements for enjoying an evening's dinner. 2 cabinets stand against the walls. One of them can be easily opened, the other has been locked with a padlock.
The one that opens easily. Can I open it?
Of course. So inside is a small, like paper packet, and when you open the top, it is a deck of playing cards.
Huh. Like a regular deck of playing cards?
As far as you're aware. There's also an assortment of wine glasses in here.
Okay. I will put it back for now. And then the other one that's locked with a padlock is a, you know how like when something's a padlock you can look inside?
Oh no.
Or is it literally
No, it's a
okay.
like it's a, you can see technically inside the padlock, but it's an old style like key.
Oh, key one, okay. Keyhole.
Yes.
Okay. Sure, let's look for the keyhole.
I mean, it looks like a cabinet. I think it's a bit too dark for you to see inside properly.
Is it though?
if you want to roll for it.
I just meant more about like the dark vision.
Well, you are technically stood in a position where any light that would help you is in that room.
Is there a small stone on the floor?
There is a sweeping brush for the fireplace.
Is that like a small something that I can like stick through the keyhole.
Are you trying to makeshift thieves' tools?
No, I'm trying to find something small enough so I can cast a jump through.
You broke up so fucking bad. I did not understand any of that.
I want something small to fit through the keyhole so I can cast a light on it, put it through, and then look what's in.
If something is sticking out of the keyhole, you're not going to be able to look through the keyhole.
There is nothing in the keyhole! I'm putting something through, like I'm pushing rock through.
I mean, be my guest? Question mark?
I
Does
mean,
this make sense?
yeah. Do you have anything in your pack that would be small enough? Because the floor isn't, like, covered in stones.
I guess I could tear up a tiny bit of a ration.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's bread in that ration.
yeah, I like take off a tiny bit and like, I don't know if this is a thing that I just did when I was a kid, but like when you have bread, I just squish it.
Yeah, you squish it into a bit of a bit. That's good English.
I cast light on it and I shove it through the keyhole so it falls into the wardrobe.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look at us all. Twitchception. Yeah? So, make a perception check for me.
Oh, 15.
Nice. So what I'll say is that you can see, like, there's obviously something hanging that's substantial, like, from hooks in the back of the wardrobe. But just from your angle, you can't necessarily see what it is clearly. However, you do see something that looks like, if I check to make sure that I'm telling you the right information. Yeah, you can see 3 cases like that have been hung up on the back wall.
Do they look like cases that would hold equipment or?
Potentially, yeah.
Okay. I come out here. Does anybody have anything that can open a keyhole? Or has anybody found a ring of keys?
Shakes his head no.
Also shakes his head no.
No, nobody knows how to open stuff without breaking it?
Saya would tell you, if you're able to find me some thieves' tools, I'd be able to give it a go and try and open it, but I don't have any myself.
Okay. Would a hairpin work?
This is where I actually check. I can definitely try. I don't think it'll go as well, though. Was I?
But you can try.
That she can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make Saya roll a check with her thieves' tools. Oh, it's letting me roll advantage, disadvantage on that. Interesting. Maybe because it's a tool. Well, she got a 10. So taking the hairpin, you can see her like jiggling it in the lock, and it gets to a point of like, yeah, no. And she like hands you back the hairpin. It's just that, like, if I try any more, it's just going to break.
Okay. Everybody keep on the lookout for keys.
Aren't we supposed to be killing a monster?
Not thieving.
It's not thieving, I just want to know what's inside.
Seems like a breach of privacy.
And you realize we could also be charged with breaking and entering right now.
Not technically. We were let in by the children.
Do you really think children have any kind of hold over the law?
Honey, I break the law. Constantly. I don't uphold it. That's not my thing. I thought that was your thing.
And
Anyways,
I'm a government
just
body.
rolls his eyes. Let's just go up the stairs.
Okay. Making your way up to the second floor. You do notice that the spiral staircase, as you're going up and around, it definitely has tinges of veins to it. So as you're going through, you see that excuse me. Yeah, there we go. So as you're going up and around the floors, you can see that there is a tinging of, like, into the marbling of this staircase. It's been hand carved, and it is beautiful and gorgeous.
Now this is pretty.
But it has, like, some kind of veining, some kind of marbling, where it's, like, the best way of describing it is that while the marble is white and, like, grey majoritively, it is, like, there's a distinct, like, little redness to the veining.
That's kind of creepy.
Still really, really beautiful, though.
Very much
Is it like
so. Hmm?
is it like natural red, or is it as in, like, if we swipe our thumb over it, it's something else with the red?
You're more than welcome to see.
Yeah, I'll swipe my thumb over it to see if it is actually in the and splashed onto the marble.
No, you pull your thumb away, and it is like a natural just occurrence in the marble.
That's pretty.
Very much so.
It goes up for probably, like, it is multiple spirals, like, as you're going, like, round and round, but it's probably only 20 feet high. As you then make your way, that'll be why. You make your way up to, and I'll take you there, the first floor. Oh, I'm gonna have to pop you on the map because I need to remember to do that. Who would say that they're at the front of, like, the pack?
TS would be near the front. He's eager to find his kids' parents.
I'm
fair
sticking
enough.
close to TS.
Aurora would be too.
And I guess Val's in the back.
I'm essentially being a meat shield for this child.
Why are none of you coming onto this map? That is an interesting question.
There was a message on our screen, well, on my screen at least, it said something about like layering.
Oh, that might be it, because I put it as the, oh, that might be why. Okay, let's see if we can't fix it by doing this. Hello?
It said I don't own a token
Yes,
vision
it's...
on this screen.
No, it's because I need to drag you over, but for some reason it's gone a bit skew with. So what I need to do is, I think, delete that. The beauty of having to upload maps on the fly, because you guys are moving faster than I thought you would.
Rip. I'm so sorry.
No, you're all good.
I
It just
honestly
means
thought
that
we
I
were going
need
so
to...
slow.
Yeah, the beauty of going so slow on the first go round, and then it's like, oh yeah, we're totally fine, right?
Time to breeze through this.
I think I'm gonna have to delete this whole thing and just start again.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So I'll give a generic description and move the stream back to 20 sides while I get the map, like, up and ready for you. Yeah, there we go. So, coming up to the landing, there is, like, two main doors going off, like, the top and the bottom of the floor. And as you, like, look about, this foyer is being almost protected by 4 suits of armor.
Ooh.
One of the things you notice is a very prominent portrait that is hanging on the wall, literally, as you enter. It is, as you guess, the family portrait. As you see the 2 children that you recognised from outside, alongside their parents.
Is it a good likeness, or can we tell like it's a few years old, or is like the baby in it?
Oh no, it's a very good likeness, and the baby is in it.
Okay, so it's a recent picture.
The father is cradling, or who you're assuming is the father, is cradling the baby. And somehow, you don't know how, but the portrait artist has managed to capture, like, the perfect look of scorn on this woman's face.
Uh-oh.
It's like she is looking down at this baby with no amount of love or content.
Somebody
Wait.
had an affair.
But the father is looking on at the baby with contempt, or the
The mother.
contempt? But dad's holding baby.
Yes. Actually, yeah, that should be good enough. Or if I bring you over now and then put you on the map. So TS said that he was at the front. What you doing, huh? Yes, but is there a way that I can... Oh, it's because I'm an idiot and I've done the exact same thing again. Right, okay. Send you back to the old one. Ugh. But yeah, getting a closer look at both of the portrait and the suits of armor, you see that every helmet worn by the men in these suits have a helmet that has been done in like the shape of a wolf. So
Okay.
the visor is like brought forward into the shape of a muzzle.
Oh my god.
Okay, that should have done it if I do that. Can we see?
Hey!
Hey.
It's black and white, but we got it!
Yeah. It's
Is anybody else's black and white, or is it just mine?
Yeah. No, it's black and white.
It should, as soon as you start moving around, clear up. It's the kind of thing of like fog of war.
Okay.
Okay.
Or at least it should. And if it doesn't, then I'm not
Hey,
fixing it
at
now.
least we can see
Very
what's
true.
going on.
So there is a door, like as soon as you step off the stairs, there is, and then the two doors in the far wall.
Okay. We don't have the option to click on doors.
Nope, because as I said, I've literally just uploaded this map, so feel free to walk through.
Apologies.
Oh, you're all good. As I said, the beauty of being like, I need to give you a thing.
Okay.
So in the
I think I
room,
found another fireplace.
yeah. So you there, Valdis, are in what looks to be a conservatory, I think. As I check the bloody map, be like, where are we? Yeah. So there are gossamer curtains draped over the windows, where there are brass-plated chandeliers hanging from the ceiling. There's upholstered chairs lining the walls, stained glass, like wall hangings depicting beautiful men, women, and children singing. There's a harpsichord with a bench in like one of the corners, and then near the fireplace there is a large standing harp. So
Well.
essentially, it's a music hall.
Rich people like their music.
I like music too.
Oh, I know why it's in black and white now. Because I technically haven't put any windows in. The things you learn for future use.
We don't need windows.
Who needs windows?
Up into this room, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So, Aurora and Austra, as you head up into that room, you find the library.
Ooh,
Oh.
books.
Red velvet
Yes,
drapes cover the windows. An exquisite mahogany desk and matching high-back chair face the entrance and the fireplace, above which hangs a framed picture of a windmill perched atop a rocky crag. Situated in corners of the room are two overstuffed chairs. Floor-to-ceiling bookshelves line the south wall. A rolling wooden ladder allows one to more easily reach the high shelves. So every single one of these walls is covered in books.
Ooh.
Okay. I want to go over to the desk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got a couple of things. Yeah, it's got a couple of things like on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got an oil lamp, a jar of ink and a quill pen to go with it, a tinderbox, and a letter kit, containing a red wax candle, 4 blank sheets of parchment, and a wooden seal, bearing what you're assuming is the family insignia of the windmill.
Okay. Is there any like open letters on here?
No. But now that you've walked around the back, there are drawers.
I would like to open the drawers.
Mm-hmm. They are empty, except for an iron key.
I will take that key for
Mhm.
later. um. Okay. Can we have like a quick glance at like the bookcases to see like the kind of books they have in here?
Of course, make a
Yes.
perception check.
Aurora will too.
Yeah, we'll bring them back over. Okay, so just in general, the two of you, you're able to see that there are multiple different topics across the entire library. So you've got everything from history to warfare to alchemy to botany. There are quite a few ranging subjects. You, however, Aurora, find one book that looks interesting to your eye because it has a blank spine, whereas everything else has a title.
I wanna look at it closer, pull it off the shelf and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So I would say you are here, and as you pull off the spine, you hear a click as the book becomes a handle and opens a hidden door.
Oh yeah.
Hidden door.
So inside
Secret
this
tunnel.
incredibly cramped 10 by 5 room is bookshelves packed with tomes describing different rituals and necromantic cults. You see a couple of mentions, just in scrawled, book bindings of the priests of Ossibus.
Can I try a religion check?
Sure.
What the hell?
So you have never heard of the priests of Ossibus? And to be honest, this all sounds like crackpot shit.
Okay.
But the thing that draws your attention after you've passed the bookshelves is at the very end of the room, there's a heavy wooden chest with its lid half closed.
I will peek into the chest.
Mm-hmm. Half in, half out of the chest is a skeleton in leather armor.
Oh.
The body is head first, making you think that they fell into this chest.
Oh.
3 darts are stuck into the dead adventurer's armor and ribcage. You're slowly starting to piece something together.
Austra?
Yeah?
I found something in here.
Oh. That's a something. I'm guessing there's obviously a trap or something.
Mm-hmm.
Can I try to see where the trap is from?
Oh, yeah, very easily. Moving past Aurora, you can see that the mechanism is in the chest, but it's no longer working. You get the impression that it was a one-time use kind of thing.
Okay. I mean, it's safe, I think. Do you want me to go for it, or do you want to go for it?
I can open it.
Okay. There might be blood on it, though.
Just gives her a look why would you say this? And then uses her cloak like a glove,
Now your cloak is gonna get dirty.
So I can wash it.
With what?
Oh, there's gotta be water somewhere, right? I still have soap.
Just imagine TS and Valdis is just hearing the murmurs.
Mm-hmm.
TS just slightly pacing a little bit impatient.
Yeah, Val
There's
is
people's
literally
lives at the line.
No, literally, Val is just like, he's got like resting one hip on like the wall and is standing on one leg, just like looking at his nails, and just like you can see he's also getting very impatient.
Oh.
You were the one who told us to be thorough.
You can't see his face right now, as you're buried into a
I can-
chest.
I can feel the indignation.
You just feel the fucking glare through two fucking walls
And
as he's just
bookmarks.
like, bitch, hurry the fuck up.
Love it.
Hey, if you want to stand a chance with Val, you need to hurry the fuck up.
Okay, not gonna say what's in my head to that one.
Yeah, I know, you take your sweet ass time. Now come on! We're losing daylight.
Yeah. So what's in the rest of the chest, though? Because she does.
No, that's fair
continue.
enough. So in the hand of the skeleton, there is a letter. The seal is broken, but it is still technically folded in a scroll. There is also 3 like black leather bound books. If you want to put those in your bag, you can do. There are 3 scrolls that until you open them up and give them a read, you don't know what's on them.
She'll start with the letter in the adventurer's hand.
Okay.
And basically, like, crack that open, kind of take a quick look at it, just to kind of get a feel for, like, what's it about, what's going on here.
Mm-hmm. So, you see that it is a handwritten letter. Do you read it aloud, or do you just read it to yourself?
She'll read it out loud.
Okay. Unfurling the letter and breaking the clasp, you see that it was written a while ago, like the ink is dried and faded. It reads as such. My most pathetic servant, I am not a messiah sent to you by the dark powers of this land. I have not come to lead you on a path to immortality. However many souls you have bled on your hidden altar, however many visitors you have tortured in your dungeon, know that you are not the ones who brought me to this beautiful land. You are but worms writhing in my earth. You say that you are cursed, your fortune spent. You abandoned love for madness, took solace in the bosom of another woman, and sired a stillborn son. Cursed by darkness? Of that I have no doubt. Save you from your wretchedness? I think not. I much prefer you as you are. Your dread lord and master, Strahd von Zarvich.
Name drop.
Right?
There are other things in the chest, should you wish them.
Can she just kind of, like, flip through the books real quick before actually, like, grabbing them?
Mm-hmm. So, the books are completely blank. It's just good black leather.
Yeah, she'll take them.
Yeah, fair enough. So, if you just put in your, like, I guess the treasure section in your character sheet, that you have 3 black leather bound books.
Where is the treasure section?
So if I open up my character sheet, if you go into inventory, and then at the bottom there is loot. I thought there was also like a treasure section that you could just write in. Unless that's in biography. I guess you could just technically write stuff in your biography too.
Yeah. That's what I was doing with Onwin. It's just like, oh, I need to remember that I've got, like, so and so many dresses.
Mm-hmm. But there are more things in the chest. So there are the 3 scrolls. And there seems to be 2 bound documents. 3 bound documents, actually, I take that back.
Okay, can I peek at those?
Mm-hmm. So the first one is a deed, and it's specifically the deed to this house.
Okay.
The second one is the deed to a windmill that the family, like, apparently own.
Okay.
And then the third is a signed will.
Ooh. I'll glance over that.
Mm-hmm. So the will at the bottom is signed by Gustav and Elizabeth Durst, and it bequeaths the house, the windmill, and all other family property to Rosvalda and Thornbolt Durst in the event of their parents' deaths.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna put the 3 documents and the will, the 3 documents, deeds, and all that back.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, okay, like this goes here.
Completely fair.
If that was everything in the chest, she'd probably head back out to PS and Val. Just so there was some unsavory things that happened here, and she'll hold the letter out to Val.
He'll like skim over it and you just hear a small like, I fucking knew it. About when he reaches the affair.
Mm.
And is just like, that's usually how it goes with these types of people. And just
Wait, it said they sired a child that was undead?
Stillborn.
Stillborn.
Mm.
So if the child was stillborn, how is there a baby up in the nursery?
The kids probably don't know that it's dead. They think that baby is just asleep or being cared for.
Please reference the note to the horde of madness.
Mm-hmm. And also, this babysitter, quote unquote, could have been the mom, the maid, or whatever the fuck her name is.
Genevieve.
Could have gotten funky with the mans.
Out of character, quite likely, given nobility of that nature.
Yeah.
Mm. That.
But.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Do you, like, after Aurora comes back in and essentially, like, hands the letter from Strahd, like, around to everyone, do you just, like, sit there and read it?
He would mostly skim it.
Mm.
But does he know about Strahd was gonna be my question.
No, that's fair. You have never heard the name Strahd. It is never.
Okay.
It's not a name you have ever heard. But what does happen is, as you read the name, like your eyes like go over the name Strahd von Zarevich, your hand begins to burn.
I see. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Alright, Val will kind of just like wince a little bit and kind of just close his eyes and like suck in through his teeth, if that makes any sense.
You okay?
he'll like pass the note along to say like TS and just be like, just a bit of a headache, that's all.
Do we notice the weird thing, or?
Nope. Because there's, other than the wincing, there's physically no symptoms.
Okay.
I do suggest we move on, though. Considering this child is probably dead, and so is the maid, we probably need to deal with something soon.
You were the one who wanted to check everything out first.
Yes, to clear the floor of anything that could jump out at us when we left, not snoop. But this is interesting. He'll kind of like point at the note. I'm not terribly upset about it.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, we wouldn't have found it if we weren't snooping.
Val kind of just like rolled his eyes. Yes, yes, blah blah blah. You are right, whatever. Can we move on?
One more time and then we can move on.
He kind of just like looks at you and his eyes kind of narrow. I believe I've said my piece. And he'll walk up the stairs.
It's more time, come on! Sourpuss.
Mm-hmm.
He'll just like, as he's walking up the stairs, he hears the sourpuss. He'll just flip you off as he's walking up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
So it's Val up the stairs, just position you there to be like, you're going first. Where is everyone else going?
Aurora will follow him.
Okay.
TS is taking up the rear because he's the last one to read the letter. Him and Saya.
Fair enough.
I would wait for you to make sure that you are in that pack, so I would probably be after you. I'm providing this kid with as much cover as there is.
Fair enough.
Yep, there we go. Okay. So, I will say that what all of you feel is a cold breeze coming from this upper floor, to the point where you can feel the cold wind hitting you in the face. But you ascending the stairs is where we're going to end this episode here. Still technically stumbling blindly, but let's see what you find next session.
Ooh.
Alright.
Thank you everyone so
Fantastic.
much for watching. Thank you all for joining us today. Oh, I crack my back as I'm actually able to look at the chat for the first time in God knows how long. We're fine. Oh. But spooky house. Spooky things happening. Things getting weirder. And it all just gets weirder as the sessions go on. Thank you for joining us in chat, and thank you to my lovely players. We will be back here at the same time next week. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.